Welcome to a Systemic Solutions tutorial video. In this video, we will be setting up the main table for a VEX Robotics competition event.
To set up the main area, once you have your fields in place, I have my two game fields, one over there, one over here, about 8 feet between the fields, and 6 feet back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to set my TV. This is where students will see, on this side they'll be able to see how much time is left on the clock. So we're going to have the TV there, and we're going to have a video camera here to tape the field. So to set up the video camera, it looks like a messy wreck. But first, just loosen up the leg, make this level, and tighten it. And we'll set that in place. And you're going to raise this up to about 7 feet. So there are 3 adjustments you can make. I'm about 6 feet tall. They're just a little higher than me. I'm going to put the camera on top. It screws around, so I got to loosen this. This moves freely. And you can spin the camera. You can also spin the top piece and then tighten it up in place. You open the camera door. This mini HDMI gets plugged in there. That's your HDMI out. This sends the video signal all the way back to our main table, which allows us to see a video of the kids driving. Then the camera needs power. We'll plug it in. So our camera's set to go. Back down to the bottom here. We need power and HDMI in for the TV and HDMI out for the camera. So our main bundle that comes from the main field has power and has 2 HDMI cables. One says C for camera, and the other says TV. So this is just a connector, connect the camera, and then the TV goes into the back of the TV. This will put the timer out, and actually plug it in under the camera, and then both these guys get power. You'll do this for the second field as well. So this is for the first field, then we'll repeat the exact same setup for field 2, and after that we'll go back to the main table. Okay, so we're at the main table. So the first thing you do is you have 2 6-foot tables, and you lay out your components where they go. I have 3 laptops, my server, my scoring laptop, and then the laptop on the end is going to be to start and stop matches. And in between I have my AV setup that lets me process video and sound. And then finally we have our projector, which projects so the whole audience can see everything. So we can go through this setup one by one. First off, all these laptops need to be connected on this switch. This is just to connect a bunch of Ethernets. So you have 3 laptops, and then you also have the laptop from Skills coming over and the laptop from Trophy. So you have 5 things plugged in here. If you add any more laptops, you'll have more items. So I plug it in, and one of the first things I can do is I'll just connect both these laptops to the switch. So take any Ethernet cable. Some of these are labeled correctly. It says put it to the switch, S, and into a laptop. Some of them have leftover numbers, don't panic. The point is, every laptop needs to be connected to the switch, and their IP addresses need to be similar. Okay, so I have one more to connect. And put the switch where all of these short cables can reach. Common sense here. All the way down. Okay. So that's my first step. I made a network. Everyone knows all your laptops need power. So the more cables you add, the worse it looks, but it's pretty straightforward if you go through step by step. So every laptop's going to need power. I'll plug these in. And then every laptop has a function. then we have to figure out what each function is. And each of the laptops will have an extended display. So on the laptop screen, we'll be seeing one thing, and then the HDMI port will output the signal to another screen or display. So setting up a competition, a lot of this is just about setting up the different displays. So you want the students to be able to see how much time is on the clock. That's their field timer display. So two of the laptops we connected by HDMI all the way over to a TV screen near the field. And the third one, we'll send the timer out to our AV mixer here. Okay, so with all of those connected, let's take a look at each laptop and what its function is. This is our server, okay? We got the Ethernet connected, we got the power connected, and then we're going to output on an extended display in HDMI to our AV mixer. This is going to be set up on the audience display and overlay. So when you think of people using a green screen, that's what this will be used for. It gets plugged into HDMI 4. And at the same time, we're going to get this power cable for the AV mixer. I can plug it in as well. Okay, so my AV mixer has power, and this is plugged into HDMI 4. I'll show you how to open Tournament Manager here. This is going to be our server. For the most part during the competition, don't touch the server. The next computer, this is going to be our scoring computer. Okay? You could also start and stop matches, but let's say it's just going to be used for scoring. Okay? The other thing, the HDMI is going to output to Field 2's timer. So let me show you that, as well as on this one, the timer. So this is the bundle coming in from the fields. There are 4 HDMIs, and there's one power strip, power cord. So we all know what to do with the power. We're going to plug it in. That provides the power for our 2 cameras near the fields and for the TVs. Okay. 2 of these HDMIs are labeled HDMI 1 and HDMI 2 AV. They go into the AV mixer, one for camera 1 and one for camera 2. So HDMI 1, I'll plug in to HDMI 1 on the back here. AV HDMI 2, I'll plug in to HDMI 2. So that allows us to feed the video camera feed into this AV mixer, and then the HDMI from our server is the overlay, which shows your team information, how much time is left on the clock, and the AV mixer basically puts those two together to make one nice signal. So I still have 2 cords left. One will stretch way down here, and one doesn't stretch as far. So the one that goes far goes to the farthest laptop. This now connects, if you could pan over, this connects to the TV way out there. So when we want to put the time out there, it's these HDMI cables that does it. And the other TV will be coming from this laptop here. So that's our bundle coming from the fields. So our laptops are completely hooked up. That one will be an extended display here, is connected to the switch. This will be an extended display there, and is connected to the switch. So let's talk about our AV system. For your audience to enjoy the tournament, it helps to have video and sound. That's all this does, is it processes video and sound. So we already talked about our video coming in. Okay? So there are 3 inputs, 2 cameras and 1 computer. Then we need an output where you want to see stuff. We have a projector and a big screen. So you need to use your HDMI to connect your projector with your AV mixer. There's a thing here that said video out from HDMI. And you plug this in there. And I'll just run it around. And you can put your projector anywhere you want, tend to put it in the middle and it shines out towards we have a 10-foot screen. Okay, put in the HDMI. So now that video will go out from there, the projected audience can see. Now if you're running the tournament, you don't want to turn around, so we have this little AV TV. So the AV TV means power. And again, there's an HDMI to the back of it, and there's a PVW out, private viewing window. That's what I call that. So the person sitting here can see what's on the big screen behind them right here. Just makes it a lot easier to run the tournament. Okay, so that covers all of our video. Okay. Next we have the sound setup. We'll be able to hear stuff. So this box underneath, this is our microphone box. I put it in place. The power is now plugged in, and then each microphone has its own output. It goes into the side of the AV mixer. Okay, so then these will control our microphones. The other thing we need to do is have an audio cable going out to the speaker. So there are two speakers, one on the right, one on the left, and I have not set them up yet. I'm going to plug one in just so you get the concept. This is a jack plug. It'll go, so the sound will come out of this aux. This is the only place you can plug this in on this box. And you'll run this cable to your speaker, and that'll give your speaker its sound. So we'll do that as well, as far as your speaker setup. Okay, so with everything connected, we'll now turn on each thing one at a time and show you how to set it up. Okay, the first thing you'll do is just open Tournament Manager. You should have already set up your tournament. So you should say open an existing tournament. If you haven't, you'd have to create it now. So the tournament server will open. Make sure you know the password for your tournament. Mine is 1234. I'll say get IP address because I'm going to connect other computers to this. So that's it. We have the tournament ready to go. So all we have to do now is get all the other items set up. On this computer, besides having Tournament Manager just open, we'll use this computer for two things. One, to print, which you don't see set up, and the other piece is as a display. So go to Display, Start, Audience Display. We use an overlay, a video overlay. If you're not using video, you just use full screen. So the video overlay for field control, those are your main fields. Okay, this green screen will come up. I'm going to say view full screen on monitor 2. This sends this green picture to where this HDMI cable goes, which is to my AV mixer. So if I go over to the AV mixer, I'll show you a quick shot of what the AV mixer now looks like. So that's the green screen on the AV mixer. This is the laptop I use for scoring, and for a person scoring, all they need to know is when the referee brings over a score sheet, they'll tell you how many balls, how many robots are on the bridge. All you do is enter numbers. You don't need to know how many points anything's worth. So their job is basically to enter those in after every match. Confirm your time is correct and click connect to a server. This is not our server. Our first laptop was the server, so we're going to connect to it. It discovered that it found Test IQ, which was my name, 1234, and I'm going to connect to it. If it doesn't connect, you usually have an IP problem. where the IP addresses on both computers aren't set to be static and close enough to each other to be able to find each other. Okay, so on this computer we're going to be doing scoring. So what that looks like is you click on qualification, match 1, you'd enter the score here, and you would save it. So if I did that, hit save, a check mark comes up that says I scored that match. Okay, so the person on this computer will score every match. The other thing this computer will do is it acts as a display, a field cue display for field 2. So for field 2, so if I start a match on field 2, this will start up. I'm going to make this full screen on the TV that's near the field. So these HDMIs go output near the field. So I'm just going to put that aside. And I can now I'll just focus on scoring matches on this computer. And that's all for this computer. So on this computer, I'm going to open Tournament Manager. I'm going to connect to my server, which, let's see if it discovers. So if it doesn't discover it, you can manually type in the address. And I know my IP address. I'll put in the password. And it connects to that server. The field cue display for field 1. So when I start a match, I'm going to send this over to monitor 2, which is the TV by that field. So now you can see it's over there. This is where I start and stop matches. When you're first setting up, you don't want to start regular matches. You want to start this field test match. Just right click on field test match, left click on queue. This comes up. We're going to start on field 1. When I hit start, I want to play sounds. I'm going to check that box on that TV so it'll play sounds. And then when I hit start match, you'll hear the sound, you'll see the time on that TV, you'll see it here, and that's it. When this match is over, I'm going to click end early. You should also then test field 2. When I click on field 2 and reset timer, if I start the match, I'll see it on my other field timer, and this one will just keep the logo up of a sponsor. And finally, now that the 3 laptops are set, I'll show you how to set up our AV mixer. So first, let's turn on our TV. This TV is showing the same thing that our projector is showing. So this is what the audience sees. And so if you look at our AV mixer, again, we have 2 cameras for field 1 and field 2. Now, I didn't adjust the cameras, but field 1 looks like this at the moment. In field 2, there's something in the way, but you can see the field in the background. So we just push 1 and 2 to adjust between cameras. I prefer a cut instead of a mix, so it happens very quickly. Okay. Now, the part that really makes this happen is when you start a match, you want to see the team names. You want to see how much time is left in the match. You see a sponsor, and it says what's going on, that this is just a practice match. So what I want to do is I want this information and a video together. So the way you do that is by using a key. So when I click the key, my output, again, is now just this green screen, but now I add a video to it. So it replaces all the green with my video input. I can adjust the amount of green it removes with this knob called key level. If I don't do enough, the green is back. If I take out a little of the green, you'll see everything's there. But watch this blue square. If you do too much, my blue square, that's where the team names show up, disappear, because blue is close to green. So you can only do a little bit of replacement there. So now when I start a match, you see the time here. You don't see team names because it's not a qualification match. But what I can do is do one of those. see the team names. Now on this TV, our monitor is too small, and you can't see all of the team names. But on the projector, you should make sure you can. When the match is over, just remember to switch to the other field once it's set up. And that's how you run a match. Okay, so one of the last things to talk about is our sound. So make sure your microphone's on. Your sound is controlled over here. So if I turn this up, you can hear the sound. So you want to get to a nice level. Make sure your mic works. My batteries are low, but you could easily replace those. So you make sure that works. If you want to play music at your event, use a mini jack, just like plugging your iPod into anything. Plug it into 7/8 in the back. So 7/8's right here. That's music is sometimes labeled. And you plug it into your device. So then during your tournament, we use Spotify, and we have some kind of playlist available. So you can control your music with 7/8.
For more helpful video tutorials just like this one, be sure to look for Systemic Solutions.